Welcome to Your Fit Story TV, the only platform that is focused on storytelling and personal branding for fit pros. Our mission is to provide fitness professionals that are trying to build and scale their business with valuable insights into how others have done it by sharing their fit story.
Kaboom! And today, Cole, DaSilva, how the fuck are you doing, bro?
What's going on, guys? I'm doing good. I'm fucking pumped to be on here. I've watched a couple other of you guys' videos, and they all seem to shit. And I can swear and be myself, so this just makes me happy. So it's all
Yeah. It's cool because when you asked that question in Messenger, I was like, bro, we drop F-bombs like within the first 3 to 5 minutes. Like, of course
you never know, man. You never know.
It's true.
I did like one little tiny like interview in the past, and they instantly heard how much I swear, and they were like, "Oh God, we gotta chill this kid the fuck out."
Well, you're at home right now, bro. So let's get it. So I want to give the guys watching and listening to this because this is going to be streamed on YouTube and then as well as a podcast. So there's going to be a different platform for both. So I kind of want to give you a bit of an intro, man, without kind of diving into your story. I'll let you do that. But first off, this is Cole DaSilva, Instagram fucking influencer, YouTube vlogger, all-round badass online trainer with a successful brand, right? And you're the owner, or is it co-owner of Aesthetic Nation?
So I'm the co-owner of PT Domination and Aesthetic Nation with my business partner, Brian Mark.
Kaboom. And Brian Mark, ladies and gentlemen, you may have already seen Brian Mark was on an episode of Your Fit Story TV. Can't really remember what episode it was for reference, but it's definitely in here somewhere. Perry's thinking now. He's like, I got this.
Pretty sure it's the second one.
I think it was the second or the third. So, but just go watch them all if you're wondering. So, Cole, bro, we are absolutely fucking pumped to have you on this episode of Your Fit Story TV. And you know what? The very, very first thing that we'd love to do is to kind of build a bit of a visual picture of what your life was really like before. So, like from the earliest memory you have, really, all the way up until like just before you found fitness. So when you get to that part where you're just about to crack into like the catalyst for change when you found fitness, everything prior to that, bro.
All right. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Well, realistically, like that's a big story because I didn't get into fitness until probably, I would say 3 years ago. Like my first fitness competition was like realistically the first time I took fitness seriously because before that, so I grew up in Thunder Bay, Ontario. Lived there for pretty much my entire life until around 5 years ago now, maybe 6. I'm like horrible with fucking time, so I don't really know. But grew up in Thunder Bay, Ontario, and when I grew up there, it was like a pretty fucking hard place. Like it was not a great place to grow up. Like the scenery was nice, and the people were nice, if like that you knew, but everybody else was like pretty crazy. So it was kind of like a harder place, kind of grungy. Grew up spoiled. I say spoiled with my parents, but also not really having money. So it was like different as well. Just kind of like getting by doing different things, but never really having a job either. I remember my first like legit job was like I worked overnight at Walmart and I had stocked the shelves. And the funny thing is that I worked at Walmart, and because we were so broke, we didn't have money for food. I would just take food from Walmart and we'd just bring it home. And they'd be like, that'd be my like grocery shopping take back for the night or whatever. But yeah, did that for a fucking while, man. And then I played football all through high school, and like that kind of gave me my introduction to fitness, like showed me what I like to do in the gym. Even though you guys, if you guys have played sports at fucking high school, you know that if you did work out in the gym, it was most likely fucking bench and bicep curls. And that was pretty much it. Like, I don't even think I worked out legs through high school because of fucking football or whatever, but I was just benching all the time, hitting those bicep curls like crazy, and that was it. But then I liked the fitness side of it, but at the same time, I also loved the drinking side of it. And I was pretty much an alcoholic by age like 16. Wow. 17. I would like literally be polishing off a 2-6 every single night, constantly, just went like that. And that literally went on until I was around 19, and then my boys decided we should do a road trip to Calgary, and it kind of came out of nowhere. Like we didn't really know why we wanted to do the road trip. By the way, sorry if there's a little bit of background noise right now. We just got get ready for work in the house.
It's all good.
But fucking yeah, so I didn't really know why we were going to go to Calgary, but we did. And fortunate enough, my half brother and my half sister lived here, so I actually have there's 5 siblings in my family. I'm the middle child. There's 2 younger brothers, an older brother, and an older sister. And when we came out to visit, I ended up hanging out with my older brother, my older sister. It was pretty much just a drinking vacation. Like, we were fucking drunk the entire time we were here, like 14 days straight. And then at the end of the 14 days, my older brother was like, well, why don't you just try to get a job in Calgary? I was like, well, what the fuck am I going to do? And that is what introduced me to the construction industry. So talked to him. He put me in front of some random dude. And within like 20 minutes, he hired me as an iron worker, making like $18 an hour. So I had like the choice to going back to Thunder Bay or staying in Calgary. And I like really didn't even think twice. I find myself a very like, if I think I want to do something, I just do it. I don't think about it. I'm just like, let's go. So as soon as I heard like $18 an hour, job, new place and everything like that, I literally flew home the next day, grabbed all my shit, told my friends peace, and just moved.
Wow.
And it was like, and that was it. And that was pretty much what started my path to a point. Because then when I got here, I was in fitness, I was working out, but at the same time, I was also still an alcoholic. And working as an iron worker for 4 years, I ended up developing carpal tunnel in my hands very bad, like to the point where I'd wake up, and I don't know if you guys can see me right now, but my hands would be like this. And like my sister, because I lived with her at the time, would have to like pull my fingers open and like rub my wrists, or else I wouldn't be able to fucking open my hands in the morning at like, I think I was only 20 at the time.
Yeah, that's nasty, man. That shit doesn't even normally happen to people, you know, when you're younger.
Yeah, exactly. And it was all from the ironworking. So I'm like gripping steel all the time, rattling the guns down, all this stuff. And because I had injured my hands in football when I was younger, it kind of all like accumulated and just fucked everything up. And because of that, not only was I drinking every night, I then went to the doctors and was like, yo, I need help. Like, I can't work right now. I'm 20 years old. Like, this is fucked. I need help. And they pretty much told me they weren't going to do anything. Like, take some ibuprofen, you'll be fine, which wasn't helping. And because of this, I ended up developing a drug habit as well. Went down the path of prescription drugs because I just told them, like, oh, I need help. They wouldn't give it to me. So I was like, fine, I'll find it on my own. And I found a dude who sold Percocets. And then next thing you know, I was eating 6 to 7 Percocets a day while drinking every single night for around 2 years straight.
Dude, you know what, man? This is like, we had a bunch of guests on here now, and like part of the reason why we started Your Fit Story TV is because me and Perry have, you know, pretty fucking powerful backstories and what's led us to where we are. And one of the most common themes that pop up is drug or alcohol abuse. That is prior to the fitness catalyst. So I'm interested to know, like, obviously most of the time, and I know I'm speaking from my experiences now, but when I was a drug addict, I was doing drugs every single day, 7 days a week, for a consistent period of time in my life. And I was a drug addict. I never said that out loud I was one, but the reality is I was a fucking drug addict. Fitness was never, I wouldn't even go to a gym. The only time I went to a gym when I was a drug addict was to sit in the sauna after snorting cocaine. And that's a true fucking story, by the way, guys. And never do that. That's a bad idea to do those two combined things. But like most people, it's separate. So I'm interested to know, like you said, you were kind of doing the fitness stuff as well as drug and drink. So how did that work, man? I mean,
I would realistically just find time to go to the gym every now and then. But I always my mentality was I want to look good when I get fucked up.
Right. Okay.
So
yeah,
because growing up I had abs. I thought like I liked what I looked like, but then at the same time, so I was like, if I took this seriously, I felt like I could always go somewhere. But then I'd always start to take it seriously, and then I'd want to party again, so I would just go fucking party and screw everything up for like 2-3 weeks. And then if I thought I was getting a little bit fluffy or whatever, I'd just start working out again.
Yeah,
and that was just kind of like this little cycle that I was stuck in.
That was the same thing when I was in uni, the equivalent of your guys' college. That was insane. Like, so I remember me and my mate would go out every single night. We'd have one night off a week, just one, and that was just to basically tell our body to calm the fuck down, and then we'd be back on it. And every single night, and we would go to the gym during the day because we wanted our appearance to be good as fuck for the evening so we can get laid whilst we're going out partying. And that was literally the cycle.
Yes, that's exactly it right there. Fucking rights.
Yeah. It's the reason I asked the question, because I was trying to dig to what the motivator was at that point. Because you see, most people would just be like demotivated completely to even look at a gym if they're drinking and taking drugs. But you know, you found it within you to do that. So the motivator was purely just famous, man. Just like, I want to fucking look good.
Straight up. It was just looking good, and at the same time, I also kind of had an edge on everybody else who was around me in that circle, because I don't get hangovers. Like, and I mean at all. Like, I used to drink so much, I could drink like a 2.6 to a 40 of alcohol in the night, wake up the next day more rested than I had ever been, and just keep going.
Wow, that's
so it was like my friends would wake up. Yeah, my friends would wake up and they'd be like, "Fuck my life," like dying on the ground, and I'd be like, "Yo, let's go hit the gym, like let's go," and then we'd work out and just start partying the next day.
Wow. So, like, what would you say the specific catalyst was to get into the gym? Because you said you obviously played football when you were a bit younger and stuff like that. But what do you think, like, the very specific reason was for you to like venture into training and training?
Like the last turning point that like got me into fitness realistically. I honestly think it was just my mentality, man. Like, even with I was eating like 6-7 Percocets a day and drinking, and I just reached a point in my life, like my ironworking life, where I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I've had even if I was fully addicted to something, like you said, I was a drug addict, but I never admitted it to anybody. I was just doing it, but then people wouldn't know I'm like doing it on my own and shit. But I can turn shit off like that. Like, I started smoking. I was smoking a couple packs a day. I'm like, this is shitty. I smell like crap. Turned it off. Didn't smoke another cigarette again. Even with perks and shit like that, even with me eating as much as they were, I literally just stopped dead as soon as I was like sick of doing them, and I just stopped. And it was one day I was ironworking, and honestly, like, me and this guy didn't get along, but I got to like attribute it to him of why I changed my life around, because I worked with this like old man on the ironworking field, and he was just a miserable motherfucker. Like, no matter what happened in the day, he was just a horrible fucking person to be around. We hated each other so much. But I literally, like, one day sat down and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? I'm like, I'm drinking every day. I'm doing drugs every day. And I'm working as an iron worker, not moving up because this company's shit. And I'm going to turn out like this old fuck. So fuck that. And I just stopped everything. I was like, no more drinking, no more fucking drugs. And I was like, I want to start the gym. So that's actually what changed it, because that day, as I was on the work site, I called my boy Brian Mark when he was a fitness coach, and hired him on the spot while I was on the site fucking working.
Wow. I remember him saying now you were one of his clients.
Yeah, I was his first ever competition client.
Oh, wow. Fucking hell, man. That's piecing together for me now.
Oh, God, damn. Everything fucking came together right then and there. Because it was like, I called him because I knew he was training some other people. And I was like, yo, like, I just want to get in shape. Like, right now I'm doing this, and this. I'm like, what can I do? And he actually pushed me to do my first show. He's like, you should do a show. You have a lot of potential. I'm like, nah, I'm good. He's like, no, you should do a show. I was like, nah, I'm good. He's like, I'm not training you unless you do a show. And I was like, fucking fine, whatever, man. Like, let's go. And then he actually helped me stop drinking and shit, because he told me that if I drank one sip of alcohol or did any drugs while with him, he's going to drop me as a client.
That's a good coach, man.
That's a good
coach.
Yeah. So fucking it kind of like made sure that I had to stop dead, which I knew I could, but then there was no reverting back because I was investing money and like doing all that other shit.
So was that at the same time as, because I'm piecing it together now, and anybody that did watch the previous one, was that when Brian was had competed already at WBFF, or?
Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Brian already won his WBFF card. And then he went to Worlds while I became his coach, but he was already a WBFF pro when I talked to him. He'd already done his shows,
Yeah, all clicking together, man. Fuck, I like this. I like this.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Like, me and him kind of connected, like, right at the beginning of him starting to compete, train competitors. And then me and him did a couple of shows together. Every show he put me in, I've won.
Wow. Nice. Quality coach, quality client. So, obviously, at that point, you were not an online trainer yourself, right?
So
How do you transition into that? Because I know that this is actually going to be a relevant piece of content for a lot of people, because for me, it was a similar thing. I competed. So drug addict and loser and fucking failure of life and bad choice person, to literally finding fitness as being a catalyst of change for me. And it took a while, but eventually I took a bodybuilding show, and it was that then I found that I built some credibility off the back end of my show, and that's how I became a coach. So I'd love to dive into like that specific for you, man.
Fuck yeah. So right off the bat, the first thing I want to say is like, it sounds like you have the same personality as me, same personality as Brian, and that's that addictive personality. And as soon as you push it towards one thing, you're going to do great at it. And that's like the one thing that I tell people, like, that I even know, like, if you are already drinking or doing drugs or whatever, and you have that personality, like, anything you put your mind to, you're going to blow up on. And that was the thing that pushed me. So it was like, once I found Brian as my coach and I like started cutting out all the other bad things, it just gave me that outlet. And fuck, when I was transitioning into being a coach, so right off the bat, my first prep was, I think, 6 months long, where we brought it into my first show. It was like a newer type of low-level fitness show called FMC Canada. It started up and then stopped after both shows that were happened because a bunch of bullshit. But came into the first show, 6 months of prep, came in shredded as fuck. I think I started weight at like 170 and stepped on stage at like 148. Like literally just diced to the fucking nines.
Wow.
But stepped on stage, and during the prep, actually, this is a funny story as well. I don't know if Brian had mentioned that, but when I was prepping with him, because I was so dedicated and so like fucking focused on it, I couldn't even pay him. Like, I didn't even know the money that was happening. So what he didn't even know, I was like selling off shit in my house. Like, sold my Xbox, sold my fucking Apple Watch, sold my old phone, like just selling everything because I was like, I want to do this, like, so let's fucking go. Sold a bunch of my shit in my house, even stuff that I probably shouldn't have sold because it wasn't mine. Fucking stepped on stage while working 8 to 12 hour days as an iron worker, boxing 2 hours a night, 4 days a week. So I was getting like maybe 5 hours of sleep. Stepped on stage the first time, 2 classes and overalls. So fucking, that was the shit. Then they had another show 4 months later, so I reverse dieted out of that one. Then prepped again and won my second show. And during that like 4-month off period, I was like, dog, this is the shit. How do I turn my career into a fitness career? And I asked Brian this, and he's like, he just straight up said, he's like, don't even fucking talk to me unless you win your next show. I was like, all right. So I just fucking went into it, smashed it again. Won 2 classes, took overalls in the next show, and then looked at him and was like, okay, now what? Like, let's fucking go. You told me to win it and I won it. So like, what do we got to do now? And he's like, all right, well, if you win it, he's like, here are the certifications you got to get. Well, you got to get. He's like, you don't need them, but if you want to be serious, go fucking get them. So I just got them right away, got my PT and shit, and then started looking into different personal training things while I was all working, by the way. Like, as I was an iron worker, working 8 to 12 hours a day outside at either minus 30 or plus 30. It's fucking horrible. But like, it was just like a big, I guess, like spiral. We were going one after the other show. Taught me a little bit about fitness. Another show taught me a little bit about fitness, got me to get my PT certification. And then I actually, in this time of like the preps, I got sent up north for work, right? And when I was up there, we were in Surmont, Fort Mac. It was like one of the camps up there. Fucking, they had a big fitness area where these people would like come in and coach everybody in the camp. If they want personal training, if they want group classes, if they want yoga, it's a way for them to make sure that people are focusing on fitness instead of just leaving the camp and getting hammered. And people are actually getting activity in instead of just working for 12 hours straight and then hating their fucking lives for 20 days a month or whatever. Well, while I was there, I was in every fucking class. I was doing yoga. I was helping them with boxing classes. I was like doing classes because I connected well with those people. And then like 6 months later, which was crazy, while I'm just finished my second show, asking Brian about how to go online, I got a call from that company being like, yo, I remember you mentioned you wanted a personal training job. We have some things opening up. Do you want one? And it just kind of like all fell together. So fucking, I ended up linking up with them, quitting my ironworking job and going up north to work as a personal trainer.
And being one of those people with the mentality of like, it's done. Like there's no considering, there's no thinking.
Oh,
I'm
no,
fucking gonna go in. Like,
yeah, I got that call, asked them if my credentials were good because they wanted me to like teach boxing, teach all this shit. And I was like, this is what I have. I've boxed for like 3 fucking years already, and I've already teaching 2 of the lower level classes. Like, is that good enough? They said yes. I walked into my boss's office and I was like, I quit. And I was like, and I loved my boss. Like, we're still friends today. But I even told him, like, and I'm not due in 2 weeks. Like, I'm fucking out next Monday, and that's it. Like, I'm not coming back. And he's like, all right, like, sounds good. And that was fucking how I started my personal training career at the beginning.
Well, because this is the thing, there's be a lot of people that do listen to this or watch this that may be in this transitional phase themselves. So maybe they might be locked in a 40-hour-a-week job that's fucking killing them, that's soul-sucking, that's taking away, you know, any shred of like happiness they have. And that's what jobs do to you, by the way, kids. That's exactly what jobs
100%,
do to you.
man. That's what they're meant to do.
Exactly. And then retire, which means retire is to die. It's just a sign that your life's coming to an end. But that got a bit morbid pretty quick. But essentially what I was trying to go down the path of is like, I think that if there's people out there right now that are in that transition phase, so maybe they do have those qualifications, right? Let's go with that. Let's go with that scenario. There's a PT or someone who's qualified right now that's listening to this that has those qualifications, but they're stuck in a job. And this person doesn't have the same mindset switch as you. So you're very similar to me, and for sounds of it, like a lot of people, especially that are in entrepreneurship, I'm doing it. Like, fuck the consequences, fuck what happens next. Like, I'm just going to do it and then work it out. So what advice would you give to that person if that person was listening right now that's stuck in that transition, man? What would you say to them?
I have 2 pieces of advice for those people. So number 1, if you're looking to leave your job, start an online business, etc., you already have the credentials, but you're a little nervous, hire somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing. Okay? It's just how it is. If you have a broken down car, you don't try to fix it yourself. You go to a fucking mechanic. And that's just how it is, right? So a lot of people, what they do is they get stuck in this rut. Like, well, I'm working as a fucking nurse 12 hours a day, every single fucking day, but I want to be an online coach. Okay, but you've been saying you want to be an online coach for the last 6 fucking months. Figure it the fuck out. And if you don't know how to do it on your own, hire someone. Like, that's the main thing you want to do. And the second piece of advice I have is start training your mind so you can make quicker decisions. Because the longer you sit on this fucking decision and wait and don't do anything, the longer you're going to hate your fucking life. Because life doesn't care that you're scared about quitting your fucking job. You're just going to be stuck in that place forever. And then you're going to kick yourself in the ass later on in life for it.
That's and just to quickly add on to your point A there, right? Me and Matt, as you know, like when we had our fitness businesses, we would take on clients who would say that they don't have the time to prioritize. Well, actually, no, that's actually just gave it away there. They never had the word prioritize. They don't have the time to work on their bodies. And you, when you were telling us your story, when you was at your fucking very long hour job, you were still putting in the work, getting the PT qualifications because that was a priority to you. You knew you had to do what you had to do to make that happen. And all I want to say is people that are listening to this, if you're like, I was having a conversation with somebody who he works behind the bar in a nightclub, and his long shifts because he works nights. He's tired throughout the day, so he doesn't have time to be working to become an online fit pro. And this is the thing, you can't be having that mindset because otherwise you're going to stay in that same position next week, next month, next year. You need to develop, and then again, like you just said, work on point B, make quicker decisions in order to make that happen.
Exactly, man. And that's actually like, I got one thing to touch on with that. So I know that fucking Matt, you like Gary Vee, right?
Yeah, man. I've been sharing some of his stories from your stories. I've been seeing you with the stories.
I love that motherfucker. I love that motherfucker, man, because he's got the same mentality as me. What the fuck are you doing from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m.? Nobody gives a shit about your 8-hour job, okay? Nobody does. When I was an iron worker, like, let's say, because 8 to 12-hour days, it would range, but let's say 10-hour days, I'm working fucking 7 a.m. to whatever, 10 hours. I get home, eat my dinner, then I'd go box for 2 hours a day. Then I'd come back, go to the gym, hit an hour and a half workout, do half an hour opposing, hit my cardio, come home. It'd be like 12:30 at night. I'd make my meals for the next day, and then I'd wake up at 5 a.m. the next day. So I had to get anywhere from 3 to 5 hours of sleep a night because I wanted to do something. When people come, like when I get clients in, they don't have, like, nobody's allowed to say you don't have time to me.
No.
Because if you say you don't have time for me, like, get the fuck out of my face, because it's a lie.
Yeah.
You prioritize your time for what you want to do. And I'm sorry, if you can walk to the fridge and get a fucking snack, you can exercise.
100%, man.
100%.
What I really love about this episode so far is I'm seeing a lot of my journey in your journey. Because it was very much the same for me when I competed as a bodybuilder. The first show I did, I only done one show. I never got the desire to put pants on again and go pose. But what it was that 7 week period, because I actually decided on the spot. After an epiphany I had in the gym, I like literally decided on the spot that I was going to compete. And the guy who turned out to be my mentor and coach, I remember him looking down at his watch and telling me, "You've got 7 weeks." And I was like, "Oh, well, look, I don't have the money, and I'm going to be challenged with time and all this stuff." I started throwing up all these excuses, and he said, "Just stop getting ready to be ready, Matt. Just be ready." And what he essentially fucking meant by that was, I've shared that before on an episode, right, Perry? Because what he meant by that was make fucking quicker decisions, Matt. Like, are you in or are you out? There's no fucking space between that for you to sit around and wonder and mope and think. Just in or out. And when I decided to go in with it, I had 7 weeks on the dot to fucking get into shape, to put a little pair of pants on and step on stage, right? So I did this similar thing to you, man. My mentor was a horrible bastard. Like, this guy is fucking 56 years old, competed and won 14 international natural bodybuilding shows in his life, created multiple six-figure businesses, just a don. And he has no time for excuses. He had no time for bullshit. So I absorbed a lot of that from him. And what it taught me through going through that 7 week transformation was, it wasn't necessarily the physical transformation that meant anything. Obviously, that's a byproduct of nailing your habits and your behaviors and your training and being disciplined to do it. That's what it fucking taught me. I carried over what I learned from being disciplined enough to do what I needed to do that day to get the results that I wanted to get. That it was installed in me to continue to do that into entrepreneurship, into business owning, into what I do today. So like, I think that it's just so fucking important. We've spoken about this on a few episodes, just the importance of, again, making promises to yourself, keeping those promises, staying disciplined with what you say you're going to do, and fucking following through with it. Like, that's it.
Well, you got to follow the emotion of yourself, okay? Because like, human beings make decision off emotion and logic. All right. So if you turn around, like, if you're listening to this right now and you are an online trainer and you feel like you need to pursue it, or like you feel something in your heart that you should be a fucking online trainer, or if you just should be working on your fitness goals to step on stage, then you need to do it. Stop trying to fucking like spread logic everywhere. Like, well, I don't know if I could spend the money on this, and I don't know if I have the time to do this. Because if you feel the emotion, you need to do it instead of justifying why you shouldn't. That's where why a lot of people fail, is because they want to make the decision on emotion, but then they start waiting too long, and then all the excuses you've been telling yourself over the last year to 5 years to 10 years to fucking however many years that has been holding you back from losing weight, building muscle, fucking becoming an online trainer, starting your own business, etc., are just coming back up again and fucking you up. And that's the thing I see all the fucking time. And that's why I literally have a rule where I don't give a fuck what the outcome is. If I want to do it, I just do it, and I deal with the consequences later. Because every time I've pushed something like that, where I'm like, I don't know if I should do this, but I'm going to, it's worked out in my favor, because I'm doing what's uncomfortable instead of sitting in my comfort zone.
Dude, I love that, man. I actually done a Facebook Live a couple of days back, and I spoke about that. And every time in my life, in my experiences, every time I've pushed myself into discomfort, I've grown. So I know 100%. I understand that. So it doesn't make any sense to avoid difficulty or avoid struggle. It makes, in my mind now, it makes sense to approach it, because I know that I'm going to grow, right? Because that's only what has ever happened when I pushed it. So part of what me and Perry have actually taken on recently, we're going to do a shameless plug here for 75 Hard. But have you heard of 75 Hard before? So Andy Frisella's 75 Hard challenge.
I don't know who the fuck that guy is, but I saw it on your guys' page.
Wow,
I see
bro.
you guys hitting this. I
Bro.
see you guys hitting the hashtag 75 hard a lot.
Sorry. Plug in right now, dude. Soon as you come off this, you need to be following the fuck out of that guy.
I'm close to like saying, bro, we're finishing this episode right now. You need to go and fucking follow
We'll
that
come
guy.
back, yeah.
Dude, you will fucking love that guy, right?
Your personality, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you love him. Andy Frisella is just an absolute bad man. I won't go into what his credentials are and all that, because if you just Google him, you'll see. But essentially, he is a man of mental toughness. He's always studied mental toughness and mental fortitude. Like that, he's just huge on that. Coming from being like a 350-pound fat lump to a person now who has just like dialed in all of his habits, all of his behaviors, worked on that mental toughness over the years, and he's gone on to build a $100 million company. It's probably more than that now. Supplement company First Form. You've heard of First Form, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So Andy Frisella is the CEO of First Form. And
okay.
yeah, dude, you got to follow him. And one of the things that he's done over the last like 50 plus days is he created a challenge called 75 Hard. And essentially it's for people who lack self-worth, self-belief, confidence, imposter syndrome, people that are just really struggling to identify who the fuck they are as themselves. And he said, this is spreading into other areas. So if you don't feel confident in who you are, you don't feel like empowered by the person you are, and you don't stick to your promises and create the life you want, what ends up happening is it spreads into your business, it fucks your business, and it fucks this and relationships and all the rest. So part of this 75 Hard, me and Perry just decided to start it because, I mean, I've been reaching some of my own internal epiphanies recently, man, about my own habits and behaviors. Like they're good, but they're not great. And that's the difference.
They can be better.
100%, man. There's always that fucking room. And dude, like for anyone listening to this, watching this, for you, definitely go check that guy out. And 75 Hard is hard. Like I'm talking, it is a challenge, but I know the reason why I'm dedicated to it, the reason why I'm doing it, the reason why I stand in a cold fucking shower for 5 minutes a day.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Is because I know that I'm growing from it. So for an example, before we dive back into what we should be talking about,
yeah,
Andy Frisella is getting a major plug right here, man. But one of the tasks is obviously a 5 minutes daily, and I'm one of those people who like give me the right temperature for my body, please, because I don't like hot and I don't like cold. Like same. I just need like the right temperature. If I went to Australia, I'd be fucked. I'd be sitting with the aircon on all day because I can't go in heat's too much and too cold is too much. So that was the biggest challenge for me, was looking at that 75 Hard and seeing 5 minute daily showers, right? And I'm like, fuck. And the first one I did, all I can say is that it's like crazy. This morning I woke up, my body's battered because you've got to train 2 times a day as well as 75 Hard. You've got to do 2 45-minute workouts a day, 1 indoors, 1 outdoors. And my body is battered because I've done 5 training sessions, like hard intensity training sessions in 3 days. And tonight it'll be 6 sessions in 3 days. So like I woke up, bro, my body was smashed. I woke up, I thought my shins felt swollen. They felt swollen. My ankles hurt, my lower back hurt, my upper back hurt from deadlifts. I'm just in agony, man. And I sat on the edge of my bed this morning and having all of those excuses that we were just talking about. Go back to bed, Matt. No one will know. No one will even know if like your missus isn't going to tell him and you're not going to tell him. So just go back to bed, dude. You know, like, don't do it. You done a workout yesterday. You worked really hard. All of that shit comes in.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking sat there for probably close to 20 minutes trying to put my socks on because I was in pain, right? And I just thought, I got to get up, get out and do this. I'm going to get out and do what I need to do because this is the fucking rules and I can't bend the rules and I'm not going to break the rules. If I break the rules, I start from day one. So I'm going to do this. And honestly, all I can say, dude, is I went and done my workout. I got home and I put on that cold shower, really cold shower, because otherwise you've got to start from day one. It's not like a tepid temperature. I mean, you got to have it cold.
Oh, yeah.
And I put the shower on and I dipped under it and I did my 5 minutes. And honestly, I felt as if I'd grown from 5:30 in the morning when I woke up to 8:30 in the morning. That growth, I could honestly say, it felt like I was a completely different human being in a completely different time and space. Like the person who I woke up as, a broken man with fragile mindset, fragile thought processes, wanting to go back to bed, being a little pussy about life, feeling sorry for myself because my muscles are hurting, my shins are hurting, talking all that shit, you would not even recognize that human being 2 hours later after that cold shower and doing those disciplines, which I just find mind-blowing, mate. Because if more people just got their fucking teeth stuck into things like you did with your shows and focused on that, focused on the goals and did what they needed to do, people would be winning right now. People would not be stuck right now.
Well, that's what it comes down to, man. It's the habits that you do every single day that bring you there. That cold shower shit's fucked. Like, I've tried it a couple times, and I'm like, I honestly, like, I've got a lot of fucking mental fortitude and shit, but those cold showers fuck my day up. I always give up on them. But everything else, it's like, I do decently on. The cold shower is the thing that kicks my ass.
Yeah, bro. You got to give it a go, though. And I'm watching you now.
Oh,
I'm gonna follow up with you, man.
I definitely will. Because that 75 hard sounds badass.
Yeah. Bro. It's levels, mate. It's levels, and we're just getting our teeth stuck into it now. And I honestly feel there's been so much growth over the last 3 days, mate. Like,
fuck yeah,
beyond what I could explain. And people that don't do it probably like, oh yeah, all right, 3 days, as if you could. No, honest to God, like my mind is just feeling different. So there's the shameless plug for Andy Frisella, bro. We appreciate if you reposted this video, please. So, dude, back to you and your story, right? And did this transition moment where you decided that you were going to get qualified, you were going to start showing up as a leader in the online space. Talk us through the actual transition itself, like the actual logistics of how you did it and what you thought and how you were feeling during that process, man.
Yeah. So when I actually switched from in-person training to online training, it was a decision like this, like straight up. So I was an in-person trainer for 3 months up north. And after the third month, I literally was like, what in the fuck am I doing? I'm like, I'm giving so much money to these people. I'm getting fucking nothing. I think I was getting paid like $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month to work up at Fort Max, so away from my family, like all this shit. It was nothing at all. And then I came back one day. I think we were out for my buddy's birthday. Brian was there, my girl was there, everybody was there hanging out. And I was telling Brian this, and he's like, well, why are you doing it? I was like, because I don't know, I just got like offered this job. And Brian, being the same fucking beast I am, told me to quit. And I was like, okay. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, quit. And I had fucking one online client at the time. So I literally just quit my job and was like, let's go. Like, fucking, all right, I got to do it or die.
Did you have cash in the bank at the time or not?
No.
So you had nothing.
The bridges.
I had nothing. I think I was waiting for one check that would have been like $900 or $1,000, but it didn't come for 2 weeks.
Mm.
And then I also, like, I had my car insurance, the rent, my phone, like all that other shit. I just looked at my girl and was like, I got you. Like, I'm going to fucking do it. And she's like, yeah, it's all good. Let's go. And I just quit my job with one client. And within 1 month, I had 27 clients with Brian.
Bang.
And I just worked every fucking day from the day I woke up to the day I went to sleep, studying like content creation, what I was supposed to be doing, how to refer people to myself, how to attract people to myself. And I was like, yo, this is what I want to do. So like, let's fucking go. And by burning that bridge and just fucking being like, that's it. It just gave me the fire I needed, because I was like, yo, if I don't do this, I don't eat. Like, I don't have fucking money. And they're sure as fuck not going to let my girl pay everything, because that's not going to fucking happen.
Back against the wall.
Yeah.
Zero option mentality, man. We've spoken about that a dozen times, man. It's just one of those things that I think only certain people are cut out for. You know, like entrepreneurship as in a nutshell, like you just got to be a certain type of fucking crazy guy.
Well, you have to, like,
you know.
At the end of the day, not everybody's an entrepreneur, and that's fine. Like, if you're fine working a 9 to 5, that's good, but don't try to fake it, because if you're not, it's gonna show real quick. Like, if you can't do that fucking 0 to 100 mentality, like 9 out of 10 times you're gonna fucking fail, because you're so worried about what the fuck else can happen.
100%, mate.
I knew what I was looking back at. I was like, I can either make this work or fail and become an ironworker again, which I was like, that's zero fucking chance that's going to happen. So I just made it happen. Yeah. And then, within a month, I had 27 clients online.
Wow.
And then it would just range. So I'd do like 27, lose a bunch, gain a bunch, lose a bunch, shit like that. That went on for like 6 months.
Well, so dude, actually, this is really fucking important to bring up and highlight whilst we're here. So, because what you just said, like, dude, you worked. Like, you gave up a job where you worked to go into online where you worked.
Oh,
And
yeah.
again, I wrote a post about this the other day on Facebook, that people assume that transitioning online is somehow going to mean like, I don't have to work as much, you know, it's easier. And I get like, no, motherfucker, just like you would if you were stacking shelves or working as a taxi driver or doing something else, you have to work to earn the money. You have to work to live. And it's the same when you come online. In fact, if you're online, it's a different world, especially if you've never been there before. Because if you've had job to job in the offline world, it's quite easy to 100%, because it's easy to transition from like doing this to doing this in the offline world. But online, building your authority all over again, your credibility, your like all of that shit that you have to do, and it comes off the back of the work you put in. So 100%. I'd love you to dive into this shit, mate. People think, and we've spoken about this before on Chris DeFay's episode, on Brian's episode. I'm pretty sure we've spoken about this a few times. Ruben's episode. Like, just try to explain to people in the best way you can about how they need to approach becoming an online trainer in terms of the work rate and work pace that they need.
Well, so touching on that, like, you need to keep one thing in mind, and it's the fact that you don't have a boss anymore. So the reason why it's easy to go from regular 9-to-5 jobs to a 9-to-5 job to a 9-to-5 job, like Tim Hortons, Walmart, fucking McDonald's, construction, etc., is you have somebody telling you what to do. And it's fucking easy. You show up at work with your fucking lunch pail and your hammer, and they tell you to go do this. You go do it. You come back, and they tell you to go do this, and you go do it, and you come back. You might think it's not a lot of work, but now you're sitting in your own house on your own fucking couch with a remote beside you, and you have to make a decision as to turn the TV on and be a lazy fuck thinking money's just going to fall into your lap, or you got to work. Like, nobody's telling you what to do anymore. So you need to fucking find out a good schedule, figure out what the fuck you need to be doing. And realistically, like, there'll be days where I'm like, yo, fuck this, and I won't do anything for like 2-3 days straight, because I'm like, I got to clear my mind. But I've also been doing it for fucking 2 years now and built my business over to 10K consistently. So I can take that break. When I was building, I would work anywhere from fucking 7 to 10 hours a day. Wake up the next day and do it again. Because you need to work harder as an entrepreneur. Because if you're getting into entrepreneurship just to sit on your fucking ass and watch TV, you're going to fail. Just how it is.
And that's not going to happen for a very long time until you make it. And the only way you're going to make it is by doing the work that is required of you. Mate, I love that fucking answer, because it's like, especially the no boss part, because you've got to, as someone that owns an online business, you've got to create your own schedule. You've got to create your own tasks. You've got to understand that no one's going to pop around the corner, right, and be like, yo, it's all right, here's a couple clients.
Exactly.
Yeah. Take tomorrow off because I got you. Yeah, here's a couple clients. Here's a few £100 in your bank. Doesn't happen. So we have to create that reality, man. And I think that a lot of people they just assume that this is an easy thing to do, like building an online business, especially when I think it's made like that when they hear success stories like yours.
Oh, 100%.
You know, so I mean, maybe we could dive into that actually, because that'd be pretty cool. Like, not everybody's going to get those results, right? But what do you think the differentiating factor is between someone like yourself that can implement a strategy and a system and get a fucking insane result, but other people maybe implementing the same system and same strategies and yet get less results or none? Because that happens, right? You've experienced it yourself with clients and stuff.
I think it just comes down to my personality and the I guess like the voice in the back of my head being like, don't stop, pretty much. Because I feel like people, like, they get too emotional. And I noticed this when I was becoming an online trainer. Like, just sticking to online training instead of just entrepreneurship. Like, when you start as an online trainer, it's way different if you're working in a gym right now. When you're working in a gym, people are coming to your fucking gym and they are filling out a thing and getting personal training sessions, where usually as an online trainer, a lot of people don't understand what it is. So if you get a no, a lot of people get discouraged. And at the very beginning, I would get discouraged if people didn't want to do online training, right? And then I just built up my mindset to be like, I don't give a fuck if somebody says no to me. I'm just going to keep working. I'll talk to the next person. And it was about to go from every single no until I got a yes. Because when it comes down to, like, online training or businesses, etc. Like a lot of people don't realize that there's 7 billion people on the planet. Like you can find 50 to 100 to work with and fucking live an amazing life and be able to build your business up. You don't need
crazy when you say those numbers, man. Fuck,
well,
dude.
That's the fucking thing. It's what people don't understand. They're like, there's not enough people. Like even in Calgary is saturated as fuck with online trainers right now because a couple people did it and it blew the fuck up, and a lot of people are turning into online trainers regardless of their credentials or whatever. But when it comes down to it, I don't think that the market is saturated, and that's why I fucking raise my fucking prices. I charge more than half the people here. And I still sell people because there's 7 billion fucking people on the planet, and I don't give a fuck about trying to make my prices comparable. You want to work with me? Don't work with me. I just fucking find someone else. And I'm an online trainer, which means I don't need to be just in Calgary. You could sell all over the fucking world.
So it's really a couple things. The first one, just abundance. And then the other thing that you said, which I really, really liked, was oh my God, just as we skip through that bit, the very first thing that you said about why you may get a result from implementing strategies that someone else might not. God damn, help me out. What was it?
What was the mindset, the voice in the head.
I got it. Before that, your fucking personal brand. Your personal fucking brand. That's what you said. You said it because of my personality and the way that I am. Yes, because this is the thing. Personal branding is fucking huge right now. It's been huge for years, but it is the differentiating factor between one online coach and another, right? It's your personal brand. Like, how much are you showing up? How consistent are you? What's the quantity of your content like? Like, are you speaking from your voice? Do you have a message that's clear? Like, all of those things will filter into the fact of whether or not one person is going to implement the same strategies as the next guy and get a fucking different result. So personal branding.
A big thing with personal branding too is be fucking real. Like, a lot of these fucking online coaches or whatever, like when I started posting and shit, I stopped posting like myself for 1 month. And in that month is the worst fucking month of business ever. And it was because I stopped trying to swear so much and I stopped being a fucking asshole to a point. But that's not me. Like I fucking love helping people transform their lives, but I also have this amount of sympathy for people who make excuses and are overweight. I don't give a fuck. So I just stopped caring, and I'm myself now. I talk like myself. I call people the fuck out. I speak exactly how I am, and because I do that, people are attracted to me, or a certain group is attracted to me. I feel like a big reason why a lot of people fail as well is they go from working in a gym, right? Well, in a gym, you help everybody, every age, every fucking gender, like everything.
Yeah.
When you're yourself as an online trainer, stop trying to fucking do that. Help a group. But a lot of people, like, they want to help women and men and kids and overweight people and jack people and stage coaching and all these other fucking things. So they're trying to chase all of those 7 billion people, like I was saying, but you only need 100. So if you focus on one fucking group, you're good.
Yep. Abundance, personal branding, and specificity around your fucking brand. So there you go, guys, wrapped up into 3, even though I had a little bit of a mind skip there for a couple minutes. Have you noticed that sometimes that happens? Maybe it's because I smoke weed. I don't know. But
I do that shit all the time.
It definitely does happen. And this is the thing, like, people watching this now, they're like, some people may hear me just say that and be like, oh my God, he smokes weed. Like, unfollow. I don't like that. Well, get the fuck off here then. Like, this is who I am, and this is what I do, and I'm not going to pretend to be someone different if you don't like it. I'm not asking you to stay. If you love it, then great. We can build a quality relationship, epic connections, and we can help each other grow, you know, and that's just really where it comes down to, man. So
every rant I have, at the end of my rant, I say, and by the way, there's a fucking unfollow button. So if you don't want to hear me rant, turn it the fuck off.
Because I see you're active on your stories a lot, right? And we're just going to drag this a little bit out of the storytelling topic for a second, but you're super active on your stories, and of course now you go into vlogging, but the Instagram story platform has really enabled a lot of people to just display themselves, right, and be who they are. Would you be able to give anybody listening to this or watching this now, would you be able to give them any tips around how to best utilize their Instagram stories for their personal
100%. And again, I'm going to fucking shameless plug and steal a fucking quote from somebody else. And it's a Gary Vee quote saying, stop fucking trying to create and document. Like if you look at my stories, I don't create shit. I just document my entire day. So I'll document fucking me eating, what I'm doing for my workout that day, talking about some random rant while I'm walking from one area to another. The other day when we went to the zoo, me and Julia, like we did a family day. So I literally took an app I had and I just fucking made a video, and then I posted it like we were up at the zoo. And then fucking there we go. That's like 6 slides. All it does is build a connection with someone, because at the end of the day, when it comes to just online personal training with your Instagram, if you want to become an influencer, I hate that word, but it's fucking still, you got to build a connection. Because at the end of the day, when someone comes to your page, they don't give a fuck who you are. But if they click on your story and you're telling them the story of your life, they now start to think about who you are. And it's really true. My boy, Brandon Hale, he actually had a client of his message him and be like, yo, it literally feels like I'm with you 24/7 because you post everything with your day. So he's always on their mind.
And I love that too. The idea of being, essentially being omnipresent and being like in people's faces a lot, which again, I think comes back to like how much confidence you have in your personal brand, you know, and how much confidence you have in yourself, which then again wraps us all the way back to things like 75 Hard and doing things like bodybuilding shows and pushing the boundaries and doing the things that make you uncomfortable, because the more that you can do, the more it's going to wrap back round and sort of display into your business, right?
Fucking right, yes.
God damn, this episode's been fire so far, man. Me and Perry, we've both got an extreme let's say an extreme message, right? With something we stand for. And I think this is massively important, and it ties into what we've been talking about around personal branding and things like that. Now, what me and Perry have been through in our lives, nothing short of fucking ridiculous. Like just the events that have unfolded, his sexual abuse, my brother fucking murdering somebody, all of that stuff that is, you know, pretty powerful experiences to go through. We've now reached a point where we rewrote our story, essentially. We've reached a point in life where we're like, I'm done playing the victim. Fuck that. No more am I going to experience just being a victim of my fucking story. I'm going to now become the hero. And our message is kind of to get people to stand as the hero of their story, right?
Yeah.
So we're just curious to know, man, what do you stand for and what do you stand against?
Well, I stand for would just be people reaching their full potential and standing against excuses. Realistically, like I want to see everybody that I come into contact with reach their full potential in some sort of way. Whether that be me helping you build up your mindset and making you like feel confident in yourself, whether that be me putting you on stage and you feeling happy, or whether that be just like me becoming your friend and you like starting to act like a different person, like acting like yourself instead of acting like somebody else because you're worried about what people think. Like when it comes down to like actually standing for a story and shit like that, like I've gone through like a bunch of things in the past, but I've already kind of not so much blocked it out, but just cut all that shit off. Because as soon as I started thinking about like my past relationships, past things that happened to me when I was younger, I always started to find myself like not depressed, but not in a good mood. Like it throw me off for weeks. It'd throw me off. I'd start blaming other things. And I feel like a big reason why people don't reach up to their full potential or get to their full potential is because they're so stuck on the past. Like they're so stuck in that what happened to you as a kid, or what happened to you 5 years ago, or what happened to you when you broke up with that girl or whatever. So whenever I bring somebody into my program or whatever, I'm always about trying to break down their mentality, like figure out what the fuck is going on in their head and what's clicking with them, so I can give them some sort of insight so they can start building them up personally. Because that's one thing I hate. I hate seeing people like put themselves down because of another person's opinion or something that happened in the past, etc.
I mean, what they're essentially doing is rewriting their story, right? They're going through their own rewrite. And what you just said then, man, I love that. And this is the thing, you know, like people that are stuck and just feel like they can't fucking move, feel like they can't grow, feel like they can't do anything. You're so right. It's where you plant your focus. Exactly. And I've been writing a book for like the last year. I should probably get it finished at some point. He's smiling because he fucking knows. But there's this book, and in there I talk about your focus, right? And how you like, I see focus as as if it's a tank that's on my belt, right? That I can see. And every morning I wake up, I have 100% focus because it's replenished. And I have 100% focus. And if I don't use it for the day, it will go and then it will be replenished in the morning. If I do use it, it just goes down accordingly. Like I can see it. Like this is what I visualize in my mind, right? Mm-hmm. And when I used to not have a very good life, not have a successful business, not be doing the things I wanted, it was because the focus that I was applying to the tasks were menial and ridiculous. And a lot of this focus was in the past. So because my focus was in the past and it wasn't in the future and things that can grow and move and develop and do that, a lot of that shit just got drained, man, because of, like you're saying, it was all in the past. Like I was still thinking of things that happened when I was younger, or people that screwed me over, or things that fucking happened, all that shit. So now when I approach my day, I'm like, yo, I got fucking 100% focus for today. And then I will apply that focus to critical tasks in my day that are going to move the needle forward for me. And if I fucking even for a second start to apply my focus into an argument or something toxic or something that is just detrimental to my life, mate, I'm aware of that shit and I snap out of it super fucking quick. So, dude, what you're saying is like, this episode is just, I think has been great, mate, because I relate to fucking so much of what you're saying, man. So much.
And when it comes to focus too, like me and Brian have a rule that we've like implemented with a lot of people, and this is something I implement with my clients to a point. Like if I know any clients that are like mentally drained, there's like something's going on, I like straight up tell them like you're not allowed to be on your phone for the first hour of the day. And the reason why I say this is because of the fact that so many people fucking focus on other shit. Like, why are you focusing on what XY fucking Kardashian bitch is doing on Instagram and not yourself? Like, who gives a fuck about some rumor that popped up on Instagram that you want to read right in the morning when you haven't even fucking ate your breakfast or anything else? Because if you open up your phone first hour of the morning and you see a bad text or a bad email or somebody talking shit or whatever, that's going to fuck with your entire day. Mm-hmm. So you need to set yourself up for like success that day by not looking at your phone, meditating if you do, which I recommend everybody to do. Like fucking, you need to focus on yourself. I call it like the first hour of self-love. You need to fucking make sure you're good because then you can take on anything.
Love that, man. You've been dropping some fucking bombs on this, man. So dude, I mean, I want to dive into a little bit more recently, like your business now, right? Your business now. I know you're new to vlogging on YouTube. So like, dude, dive into how you've gone. Because I think this reason why I want to dive into this is because I think a lot of online trainers, they stop there. So like, I'm bringing clients on now, 10, 20, 30 clients, however many, but like, this is what I do now. And not many of them then venture into other things because again, like the more you venture into different things, the more unknown it is and the more fear might creep in or whatever it is. But you've been like dominating on Instagram. You've been building your business with Brian. You've been fucking killing your business as an online coach and as an online trainer. And now you're vlogging as well. So like how does all that happen? How do you juggle all of it? And if there's people out there, I'll tell you that's a secondary question. First off, how the fuck do you juggle all of that? It's a lot.
Well, I'm fucking bored is realistically how I started. Like,
it's a great answer.
Like, that's just how I got to start that conversation. Because like me just bringing on client, like it's fucking easy for me now. Like, and it's just the only way I can explain it. Like me selling, I usually have anywhere on a consistent basis from 32 to 39 clients monthly. And I'm just fucking bored of selling more people because I know that the more people I sell now, the less time I'm going to have because regardless of being an online coach, I still want to ensure each person gets 24-hour contact with me, like all that shit. And if I have 50 fucking clients, I'm not gonna be able to do that. So like, I don't want my service to go down because I don't have the time. And I just wanted to start doing other shit. Like I can only post so much shit on Instagram and not get bored. It's boring the fuck out of me. Like workouts and other stuff. So I've actually rebranded my Instagram 100%. I'm only going to be posting IGTV workouts or IGTV like informational shit on there. All my inspirational stuff is going to be on my story. So like anything about losing weight, about different shit's going to be on my story so I can talk to people. I wanted to do vlogging just because of the fact that I've always watched vlogs. Like I fucking love YouTube. I've been on it forever. I've always watched shit. People make me laugh my ass off. Like just dumb shit on there. So, but I also wanted to put a little bit of fitness on there. So I started it with the intention of every Sunday I'm going to post something about fitness, and every Wednesday I'm going to post a vlog of me doing random shit, just because I already share my fucking life all over Instagram. So why the fuck not? And when it came down to juggling it all, I just fucking, when it comes down to like actual time, I feel like I never run out of time. Like, that's just my mentality. Even working like as an online trainer with fucking 35 clients, let's just even it out, and running PT Domination with fucking Brian, helping these other coaches build their business, and helping our Team A Nation coaching business with 6-7 trainers. Like, I still feel like I have all the fucking time in the world, regardless of me fucking working 10 hours a day.
Amazing, man. Not making fucking excuses, that's for sure.
No.
So this is the whole, I think there's something important to take away on this before we do jump off, because I'm conscious of your time, bro. But one thing just to mention here, because there might be some online trainers that are watching this and being like, yo, if he's on YouTube, I'll go on YouTube. And they might not have their business down yet. They might not have their systems down yet. They might not have their strategies down yet. They might not even have any fucking clients yet. So we know that there is this shiny object syndrome, and exists for so many people out there, right? For so many online trainers as well. They're like, oh, I'll do an ebook. Or they're like, oh, I'll go on YouTube and blog. What advice would you give to somebody that is constantly looking, because they might look at someone like yourself and go, wow, he's killing it in stories, he's killing it in business, like he's on YouTube. Now, I should probably do something like that too, because if he's successful doing it, then I'll be successful doing it. And we know that is just absolutely not fucking true. But what advice would you give to someone who may be thinking that stuff, man?
So right off the bat, the thing that I want to touch on that is actually going to like bring it back to one of the points I made right at the beginning is I hired someone to teach me about YouTube. And the reason why is because of the fact that I don't know anything fucking about it. I don't know the algorithm. I don't know how to post properly. I don't know descriptions. There's so much that goes into YouTube videos. It's fucking insane. From tags to description to headlines to thumbnails to video minutes long to keep them there. Like, there isn't just let's post. So when it comes down to actually building your business, if you're starting from zero, find something that you want to focus on. If your dream is YouTube, then fuck Instagram, start posting on YouTube. You can build a following there. But if you don't have anything at all, if you don't really even know what you're fucking talking about, you just want to start posting because you see another person do it, you can. But then you also want to keep that fucking mental fortitude, realizing that it's going to take you a long fucking time. Like, no matter what, if you're starting from zero, this is going to be years in the making. I was fortunate enough to have people around me to help me build my business and help me for free at the beginning. So I got little tips and tricks to be able to be like, okay, implement. And because my fucking mental state, I was able to implement it quick, fast, with ferocity, and be able to blow everything up. But it's to a point you got to focus on one thing at the beginning is what I feel is the smartest thing to do. Because I don't remember how the fuck this kid says it, but he says, if you chase too many rabbits, you're never going to catch one. Yeah. That's what Brian says all the time. And it's true. Like, if you're trying to launch your YouTube channel, launch your Instagram, launch your online business, get clients, do all this stuff, and you don't even know how to attract clients yet, maybe you should start with learning how to attract clients before you fucking start a bunch of other things. Yeah. If you just want to be a vlogger, then fucking by all means, go start a YouTube channel. If you just want to be on Instagram, then fucking go start an Instagram. Who gives a shit? But if you're looking to build a business off those platforms, you need to do it right from the beginning.
I think it's important what you said though, mate, is about the resilience that's needed when you do step onto a new platform, because obviously when we transitioned to helping fit pros build their business by leading with their story and amplifying their brand, we obviously were stepping into a new niche market, because we had both built our brands by helping entrepreneurs and coaches build their brands. But then when we decided to jump back into what felt true to us, which was the fitness industry, it was a slow grind to start, you know. We know how to build businesses, so for us it was still slow, but we got there because we understand systems and strategies and scaling. Like, get it. But for some people, they don't know those things, and they have to learn those things as they go, and their wheels will be spinning some days and they won't be going nowhere. And then they'll get one subscriber dropping their funnel, and then they'll just ignore that one because they want more, which is fucking crazy, by the way. If that's you, stop doing that. Look after the one subscriber who's just subscribed to your channel and stop being greedy.
Exactly.
But the point I'm making is that, like, people don't bleed hard for long enough. And they don't allow themselves to do that. And that wraps us straight back round so fucking perfectly to finish this episode.
I fucking love that saying so much.
Yeah,
people don't bleed hard long enough. That shit is so fucking true, man. And that, like, brings me back to, like, look at all the influencers that you look up to now. Like, if people are watching this and they want to build their business, like, if anybody knows who Gary Vee is, that motherfucker was on YouTube 7 years before you even knew who it was. But people don't understand that. Like, that guy literally grinded for fucking 20 years straight, got recognized in the last, 7 years, realistically, and blew the fuck up. But people don't see that grind. Like, this shit takes fucking time. Can you blow up fast and then be able to build a sustainable income? For sure. Are you going to become a fucking millionaire and have everybody following you? Very unlikely, but it is possible. And you need to realize that right from the beginning. Like, joining YouTube, my mission on YouTube isn't to blow up within the fucking first year. It's to be able to reach more people with my fucking words so I can help more people transform and show a little bit about my life because I like to.
Feels that boredom for you, doesn't it?
Exactly. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, dude. I fucking love it, man.
It's also funny.
Go on, mate. Go ahead, Cole.
I was just going to say it's also funny for vlogging because I get to hold a camera with a big-ass, like, dead cat on it. So it gives me it's a conversation starter or whatever. That's fucking hilarious.
Wow. So, you know, I haven't seen that, but I've seen the video. I've seen the quality of the video. So maybe you need to share what it is that you're fucking holding.
Oh, I'll show you. It's fucking funny, man. It's hilarious.
It reminds me of this picture that I saw. You guys might have seen it as well, where you see, like, the tip of an ice block in the sea.
Oh, yeah.
You just see the tip. And then underneath the water is fucking huge. And it's just the equivalent of, like, these online fit pros in the beginning stages who don't want to hire anybody, who want to do it themselves. They see somebody from the outset who's quite successful, and all they're seeing is that outer layer. They're just seeing the tip, and they try and copy that tip. And that's why they never fucking get anywhere, because they don't see all the underlying work that happens underneath. Right? Exactly. And it just reminds me of that point that you said, man. It's so true.
And that's, like, my biggest advice to anybody. Like, when it comes down to building your business, or even just getting in shape, it's respectable to do it on your own. But at the same time, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Because let's say you're working at Walmart right now. Did you know how to do the shit at Walmart before you got there? Even though it's simple, probably not. If you're working as an iron worker in the construction field, did you know how to build the buildings before you got there? No, somebody showed you. It comes down, this is just how it is across the board. If you're in a regular 9-to-5 job, somebody taught you how to do the work there. So why the fuck do you think you could just join the online fitness space and become the best? Why do you think you could just join a show and beat out everybody who has coaches? There's a reason why mentors exist. And as much as I respect people trying to do it on their own, 9 out of 10 times why people fail is because they are too stubborn to hire someone because they want to do it on their own when you could just get someone to help you. And that's why I was fortunate when I met Brian and I got him to help me with online coaching. Me and him went straight in. I joined his team and he taught me how to become a coach. So I didn't have to fucking go find another mentor.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Like, even with my success, every single step of the way, I've had a mentor. We've had mentors the whole time.
And this is the reason why you've built your business to the position you're in, you know. So the takeaway there for people is, like, look, stop trying to do shit by yourself. Yes, you can consume free challenge after free challenge after free challenge. Yes, you can Google. Yes, you can watch other people's fucking content about how to build businesses. But the reality is that you're going to end up with a bunch of puzzle pieces and you ain't going to be able to make a fucking puzzle. So sometimes it's easier to just go to the source and get the fucking plug for how to build your business.
Yeah.
So, bro,
that's what I'm fucking talking about.
100%, dude. Mate, this has been fucking epic to have you on, mate. We 100% would be honored to have you back in a few months' time just to talk a little bit more about your journey and about how you've utilized YouTube and all the rest of it, because we're going to stay in touch about that. But dude, thank you so much for joining us on Your Fit Story TV. You are a fucking legend and I appreciate you, man.
Fuck yeah, guys. This was a blast. This was a good time. This is the first time I've done, like, a longer episode like this. I didn't know how to feel about it at the beginning, but I was like, let's go. And this is a fucking blast. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Epic, dude. Well, there's that mentality again. That fuck it, I'm in.
Yeah. Oh, fuck
like,
yeah.
no questions, bruv, I'm in.
Yeah.
Just gotta get it. So thank you, man. Guys, if you are watching this episode right now, or you're listening to this episode as we are on podcast as well, then remember our mission is to provide health and fitness coaches with these valuable insights into how other people have built and sustained and scaled these incredible businesses by sharing their fit story, like Cole. So if Cole's story has been in any way relatable to you, if you found this episode of benefit, then please do hit the subscribe button below. But before we do go, bro, where can these motherfuckers find you, man?
Fuck yeah. So on Twitter, I'm the Wolf DaSilva. On Instagram, I am at the online fitness coach. And on YouTube, I'll just have to send fucking Matt the YouTube link for you guys to check it out, because I don't have the subscriber base yet, so I can't make that shit custom. Fuck my life. But other than that, realistically, Instagram is my base thing, so it's at the online fitness coach. And if you guys did get inspired by my story, I'd love to hear about it as well. So that'd be awesome if you guys could send me a message.
Bringing out those Twitter handles, mate.
What's up?
We haven't had one of those yet. Bringing out the Twitter.
Hey, dude, I started Twitter, I think the same time I started YouTube. I got like 30 followers, but I'm like, fuck it. If I can reach more people, I can reach more people. I'm bored, bro. I told you guys that. I'm fucking bored. I gotta start more shit.
I can tell that you are an avid Gary Vee fan, mate, because in his book, Jab, Jab, Hook, that's all the fucking guy talks about is how to reach more people is by getting on more platforms and understanding those platforms and dominating.
I've downloaded like 12 fucking social media apps in the last like week because I'm like, well, let's go. It sounds good.
Well, thank you very much, dude. But guys, hit the subscribe button below, leave a comment, drop us some fire, and connect with Cole DaSilva because he's a fucking animal. Well, actually, wolf. He's the wolf, right? So,
yes, the wolf. Fucking
the wolf. Thanks very much, dude.
Cool. Peace out, Cole.
Fuck yeah, guys.